I will need to identify people of goodwill, people of good character, and training to come back into politics and to organize differently and align with the values of our Constitution, to implement the Constitution, to entrench constitutionalism and the rule of law. So what does this mean? It means we have to organize and mobilize differently. It means making campaign commitments that are honest, forthright, and doing so without fear. This is the season of politicians to make promises because of the track record of promises which are made and not kept. Obviously, we are skeptical because what are those promises based on? Why should we believe them? There is natural skepticism. Kenyans have faced a lot of betrayal and false promises. And I'm sure all of you, all of us, it's in our minds that what kind of promises can we make and how can we fulfill them? We must therefore tell people when it comes, what it will take to change Mombasa. And that change cannot be immediate. And it cannot be without paying a price. It's not going to be a walk in the park. There are limits to what you can promise, and we must be accountable for our promises. Even if you are from a religious orientation, and even for human relations, commitments must be honest. Even in our campaign, we must demonstrate a commitment to the values that bind us, values that are ingrained in our Constitution and in Article 10 of our Constitution, the rule of law, participation of the people, human dignity, inclusiveness, non-discrimination, integrity, transparency, and accountability. So as part of what we are going to discuss today, what commitments do I make? I'm committed to form a lean, clean, competent, talented government that is founded on the principles of respect for the people, promotion of dignity of all people, respect of the Constitution and constitutionalism, and upholding the rule of law. What challenges are there before us in trying to do so? We need to address excesses of the previous or the current government, the county government, including bad governance, violence by the inspectorate, a culture of impunity, and all the excesses that we are all exposed to. We have to change the organizational principles of government and to change mindsets, to move away from the lack of political will to do the right things. We need to establish a new governance structure, which is lean, meaning uses less resources on salaries and more resources on delivery of services. And most importantly, to have clean government, because political hygiene is really important. We need to ensure that the county government always obeys court orders. We're living in a regime of lawlessness, breakdown of law by disobedience of court orders. We've seen it time and time again. And once we do that, there is really nothing that we can stand on. This is a fundamental principle of the rule of law. The current county government is steeped in impunity and it disregards court orders. We also have to pay very close attention to the inspectorate and seek to improve it and to overhaul it. They need to be retrained and reoriented so that they uphold the dignity of the people. Importantly, we need to have zero tolerance on corruption, bad governance, incompetence, and wastage. We will not allow, for instance, members of county governments to also, or their immediate family members, to do business with the government. We need to think through this aspect, otherwise we'll be forced to deal with the current lot which is there in the current government. We do have a big pool of talented and competent people in Mombasa. We need to have a process of identifying people for the right job, who have the right training, who have the relevant experience. Such persons must be vetted on whether they conform to the requirements of the Leadership and Integrity Act. My other commitment is that within the first 100 days of our administration, we will begin the economic recovery of the county of Mombasa. Mombasa has suffered immensely from the effects of COVID-19, loss of business because of the SGR, and the migration of port services away from Mombasa. And this has been done under the watch of a county government that has failed to identify with the needs and welfare of the people. We need to institute a stimulus package that is designed to bring relief to the residents of Mombasa and reviving dying and struggling businesses. This will also encourage the incubation of new businesses, especially for the youths and the women. The aim is to encourage the growth of business and to get people back into employment. We need to bring down the cost of production. The Mombasa port, which is going to be a centerpiece, a cornerstone of our economic development and strategy. Mombasa found its fame and fortune as a maritime commercial hub. The control of the lucrative port business cannot and shall not be allowed to be separated from the county of Mombasa. Mombasa took active part in global trade, which was then in the East, involving the trade around the Indian Ocean. That global trade was kinder and it was fairer. Mombasa, like all cities in the world, have been endowed with a seaport. We have a natural relation and benefit from the business of the port and commercial activities, which are related to maritime trade and livelihoods. Mombasa thrived and Mombasa prospered historically.